This man is literally running one of every color, man. This man is a rainbow paladin. I'm a fan, honestly. Look at this guy. Look at this goober. We got ourselves 4 Beard on the team as well, with Grifka gonna be first up versus Troop Monk. Interesting. Lavalanche on that team is Xanda. We got ourselves TM Brew as well, with Troop Monk getting hit with a cheap shot. Secret technique of the bat. Mania to trinket. Does go for the trinket. That's a pretty big defensive commitment right now. In cap immediately onto Grifka. You know he wants to go in for leg sweep. He wants to be able to see if he can get somebody out of the rogue. Leg sweep does not connect. That is an evasion out of the rogue immediately. Grifka with a shadow step. Getting a shot to follow. Does at least have a wall for those in Troop Monk. Maybe in trouble. At least no secret technique for a good bit though. Barely surviving this into a combo right after. Cook cloak it. Does cloak it. Big damage. Trying to see if he can roll out of it. Does he get the heals he needs? Shadow strike right after in capture fall. Oh my goodness, the trinket. Oh my god. Being able to cloak a karma as a rogue. It is just mad, with Minus going to be up next. Linus the Minus. Oh, Minus the Linus. SP joined Panda. Panda. Really, we got Jayhawk as well as Call of Duty on that team as well, with Minus having to play versus Grifka. Rogue tried to be most broke class in the game, over challenge failed. Trying to see if he can go for a bit of a cast and shot to follow as he's trying to see maybe disperse situation. Does go for a trinket. Stun to Grifka. Trying to see if he can deny that secret technique damage. Fear to follow. Just trying to see if he can maximize the damage. Spike right after. Got himself full eruptions. Grifka's gonna get hit. Trying to go to follow right after. As Minus just trying to go for a bit of a heal himself. Grifka does dive into reset. Dots is still on. If Minus can somehow catch up to him, is gonna be sapped by the rogue. Yeah, at this point. A mobile class versus one of the less mobile classes. I feel like Grifka is always going to have that a bit of advantage. Can always dive behind the pillar with a quick sap around the corner. Minus, you're just going to have to play around places without really a easy pillar for Grifka to reach. Is going to go for the eyes. Grifka with a shadow strike immediately. Finish up. Minus maybe looking at the disperse right now. No trinket available. Might be dispersed off of that secret technique. Probably want to use it. Honestly, if you see secret technique, you might just want to hit the disperse as soon as that secret technique connects. Blind right after for Grifka. If you could just deny the damage by that secret technique, you'll be golden. Sap right after by the rogue. Full CC onto Minus. I don't think he should have a kidney shot for him for a while, will he? Actually full stun. Minus the not eating the most amount of damage unless maybe big secret technique cheap shot eviscerates. Oh no, there it goes with Call of Duty. Try to see if you can get back over there. As soon as you trinket against a rogue, man, you got nothing. It's just a rough spot to be in. It's going to be full dots, full damage on the Grifka. Dots have a clicker shot is back up. Is going to use it pretty early on versus Call of Duty. Hitting him with a gouge to follow. Trying to see if he can get himself round the bend. Judy better get over there. Got himself Barskin really early on. Getting shot by the rogue. It's going to be a trinket on Judy either way though. Maybe a little bit too early of a commit, but now you got no Barskin, no trinket. Next kidney shot is going to be the death of ya. This is where you got to get aggressive with the rogue. Try to see if you can knock him out in the open. I don't know if you got dots on him or anything. Do you survive the secret technique? That is the question. Full kill, cold blood. Big damage. Eviscerates to follow. It's a lot of damage to summer after last second, but it does give Judy a little bit of recovery. He does himself quite a bit of damage for the rogue. Knockback. Oh, but the shadow step with an eviscerate taking it out. Not much you can really do in that situation. As Jayhawk trying to see if he can round the bend. Barrage to follow onto Grifka. Trying to see if he can maybe get some pressure rolling versus rogue. Trinket really early. Trinket out of Grifka right after though. This is going to be a knockback. Cheap shot to follow. Blink by Wizard. Maybe too early of a blink though. Does get some missiles chased out of Grifka. Are you still not rolling Tempest by the way? I feel like as soon as you ran Tempest, I feel like it's going to be much easier to fight Grifka. Just maintaining a dot that keeps the rogue permanently in combat. Or at least as long as you keep refreshing at the right time, that could be really good long term, honestly. May want to think about it. Gotta be Ring of Frost. As Grifka try to see if it will walk next to it. Could step into the Ring of Frost. Try not to gonna be a rude polymer for after. Does have a clock for this one. Able to maintain pressure onto Jayhawk unless he goes in for Isaac. And there it goes. Having to chase the defensive super early. But it's so rough, man. Shield to follow, breath right after. Jayhawk does not have, or Grifka does not have a trinket available. It's going to be a shadow strike off of that shadow melt. Jayhawk had no help whatsoever. At this point, what do you do? Vanish to follow, shadow strike? Oh my goodness. What do you do in that kind of situation? As SP is going to be up next. Last one left over on the team 2. Having to fight against the rogue. I feel like he's going to have to play around the rogue cooldowns. Definitely have to go for a fear stun combo. You're going to have to use a trinket at the right time. Does go for the trinket. Panda racial off of this one. Trying to go for a bit of a setup. Root into the rogue. Blind to follow. Grifka does have a trinket in case he wants to use it. Cloaker shot is available. Again, SP using that trinket really early. Can SP somehow squeak out a win against Grifka? If he can do it, if he can topple the rogue, dampening is ridiculously high where he would potentially have a chance here. Big secret technique, eats it to the face, cheap shot, disperse really late. The man does not have himself lots of health, needs to go for full recovery. Maybe should have dispersed during that secret technique. Trying to see if he can swing around Grifka. Gouge to follow right after, trying to see if he can keep himself afloat here. Power life, giving it quite a bit of that survivability. The fade right second to maybe let's see dodgy get a shot by the rogue into a shadow crash around the corner. I think the DOS did connect maybe. Potentially into an interrupt onto SP. Not much left right now. Does at least have Empiric Embrace. He was getting some kind of healing, but maybe this won't be enough here. Last second. Oh. I was hoping. I was praying for my priesty friend. We got 4 beard over for the team. 1 as an arms warrior, ready to go. The dark iron. I like the paladin said you gotta go on. You're a warrior. Look at Pala. Grifka ready to skulk around. We got some troop monk joining back in. A name that I find familiar, but I don't know exactly where I heard it. Children on that team as well as Ido and a marksmanship hunter. And they're sending Grifka first? Oh no. QKL. Try to see if we can get Grifka out in the open. Gonna be immediate secret technique off the bat. The man is at least in defensive stance. The warrior is gonna go for the human racial, maybe a little bit too late or early. Definitely the weird timing. That's gonna be a reflect. If you're gonna pop reflect, you definitely want to use it during secret technique because that shadow damage, you can at least reduce it. You will not reflect rogue shadow damage. But part of that secret technique is pure shadow damage, and reduce it by 20%. Is a godsend. Over on the team 2, we also got us Morty in the back as a Frosty Mage. We got Arcane Mage Jayhawk with Cowboy Boy in the Pharaoh as well as Call of Duty with a kidney shot onto QKL. The man is just getting blasted out. Needs a heal. Oh, but the Eviscerate just punctures right through. The man was out of defenses. Offensively, he was still ready to go. Defensively, not gonna happen. Knock back onto the rogue. Call of Duty get hit with a gouge. Got Grifka out in the open for just a second. Well, should not have a kidney shot for a while. Blind, dude, trinketed. I don't think you do, right? But the rogue should not have the calm points for a kidney shot, will he? No, just a sap. Just goes for a reset. For Call of Duty, that might not be the worst situation, but I think Grifka just gonna wait it out a little bit until another kidney shot is gonna be up and running. Judy trying to stay on him as best as possible, trying to force a trinket out of the rogue. Disarm immediately. Is there still spirits around him into a route to follow? Smoke bomb right after. Judy can at least go for a little bit of a reheal. Needs to get Grifka out in the open, potentially trying to go for a bit of a knockback, but that's going to be a stun by the rogue. Has himself a big go. Judy may not be in a great spot. It's going to be a cheap shot right after. Sprokelock barely keeping him alive. Judy needs to use some cooldowns right now. Renewal, maybe the play. I think already used that a lot earlier. Trying to go for a clone to the rogue. Trinket into an interrupt right after. Judy, not in a great spot, into an eviscerate. The rogue took his chance and not want to let this guy out. It's going to go for immediate advantage as it looked like Morty ran out to pop cooldowns. But so is Coffee Boy. I wonder which one of you guys was supposed to be first, which one's supposed to be second in that lineup. But for Grifka, either way, because of the confusion, I think the Druid as well as the Mage kind of pulled back, and Grifka kind of getting caught out in the open by Coffee. Immediate trinket out of the Druid. Grifka has himself a blind. Wait, the bleeds are huge though. Cloak of Shadows to remove those. Kidney shot onto Kavi. Does go for a Barkskin. Secret technique just ripping right through the Druid. Barkskin barely keeping you alive, which is still somewhat sturdy into a restone onto the rogue. Got himself evasion right after. Have himself a blind in case he ever wants to use it. This is where you get yourself Thorns. Blind right after. Grifka may just die right now. Cheat death. Let's see, live this. Coffee Boy is in a good spot. He could end the rogue right now. Gouge right after. Thorns is still up with the guy. Do you have a kidney shot ready? This is where you need a kidney shot. Does get a kidney shot last second. Shrinking. Maybe no, just no DR. Just a very DR. Oh, kidney shot was so DR, but it didn't matter. Grifka sneaks in. A big secret technique slapping the Druid upside the head. My goodness, the amount of bursts this rogue could go through. It's just unbelievable. Just give him a chance, give him a second, and it doesn't even matter. As Grifka trying to see if he can buy himself, just put himself in a hole somewhere away from society. As Morty is going to be up next. This man at least got himself some cooldowns back up, full invis. Does he want to pick up the eyes to find the rogue? Honestly, may just want to, man. It's still not out of the woods just yet, though. Big secret technique does a lot of damage. As long as he presses ice block, he might be okay. But Grifka is able to force cooldowns out of Morty. He needs to find a way to turn this around on a rogue and give him the answer. Otherwise, Grifka is probably going to go for a complete domination here. Blizzard immediately Ring of Frost into a full freeze. Maybe this could be a good go. If he can combine that together with the Ring of Fire, that actually is a really good combo. Blizzard, Frozen Orb, and Ring of Fire together, especially if you can do it from distance. You don't even need to have line of sight of the guy. If you could just go from like behind the pillar, You're golden. Grifka trying to see if he can just surround the edge there to get himself a reset blizzard, but it doesn't quite connect. Still though, Grifka has still got tagged either way. Knockback, but it doesn't really go far. Cheap shot, maybe big damage. Morty will need a big defensive. Have himself a second ice block in case things go really bad. Try to see if he can back up out of the ice block as Grifka does end up closing that gap. Nova does not quite connect. Secret technique this way, you want to make sure you have something for it. Shields at the last second, but the Viscer's just ripping right through the guy. And Grifka does not let him out on his side with a blind immediately onto Jayhawk. Vanish, I am surprised you dodged that Arcane Orb last second, by the way. I am surprised, but a good blind force a trick out of Jayhawk really early. And Grifka is still living this duel with 2 vanishes available with the Cloak of Shadows within 30 seconds. Honestly, if you go super aggressive with the vanishes, that cloak is going to be cut down and cooled down so fast, you're going to be okay. He knows the rogue ain't going to be over there. He's hanging out by the tombstone, trying to see if he can wait out until a good angle, trying to see if he can charge out. Shadow Strike, Nova does separate the two for a second. Cloak of Shadows really early on. If Jayhawk can just live this a little bit longer, he might maybe be okay, but I think it's over. The Viscerates just rip right through him. The man is out on the murder spree. Did not want to give these castles a chance. And they're all gone ski. My goodness. Let's get ourselves another one going here, boys, yeah? Uno más, uno más, uno más, uno más.